to another weekly, 2.9. And this week we're going to jump right into subtracting integers.
Okay.
And we've been talking in class a lot about that adding and subtracting integers is really closely connected. So I think we'll see that in some of our examples today.
Okay.
But let us start out with -5 minus +7.
Okay.
And again, I love my integer chips. So can I show you?
Yeah,
All
show
right.
me how you do this.
So I start out with -5, which means I put on the board.
Okay.
Now, subtracting means I want to take away.
Right.
I want to take away 7 black chips. My issue is
You got none.
I got none. So I can, if I add one of these, we talked last week, they really make 0 together.
Right.
So I'm not changing it, it's still -5, but now I have a black chip.
Oh, so you just bring them in pairs. Ah, that's smart.
So now I have 4, then I'm gonna have 3 more.
And those are all,
They're all zeros.
you're adding on 7 zeros, basically.
We're adding on 7 zeros. I'm still all left with my original -5. Now, I'm gonna take all of my positive ones away.
All 7 of them.
All 7 of them. I'm gonna delete.
Oh,
And I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 red chips, which means that my answer would be -12.
okay.
And again, you can picture those in your head,
Right.
or you can draw out little
Right.
colors if you wanted to, or use the chips if you're in class.
Right. Or, yeah, okay, let's do another one. I was just picturing it on a number line, but we can do that in another example,
Let's
right?
try a number line.
All right.
How about +6 minus -8?
Okay. Do you want me to do it?
Go ahead.
Help me.
I
All right.
will help you. if you
Positive
get stuck.
6, we start there. Right there. Now, we're saying,
This is where number lines confuse me.
yeah, that's what
gets so
I,
tricky.
That's what I was going to say. It seems to me like every time you see a negative, you switch direction, right?
Well, what I think about is that minus means I go left, but negative means I go left also.
And you can't go left twice.
You can't go left twice, so in math you end up going right.
Yeah. So it means sort of turn away from positive, or just turn
So
away, turn away.
That means go left, and this one means turn around.
So we're really
It's like we're making a U-turn here.
actually going to end up adding on 8 for this neg.
We're gonna go to the right 8, yes.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ran out of room. 5, 6, 7, 8. Just make those extra lines there so I know how far I went. And that's just add on a little here. 11, 12, 13, and 14. So this equals +14.
Funny, isn't it, when you subtract,
Because-
you end up with a positive?
Yeah, because
Ooh, that is an interesting thought. Subtracting a negative gives you exactly the same answer as if you were just adding the two numbers together.
So it's almost like when you see minus a negative, you could go like that and make them both positive signs.
You could, yeah.
If that helps you. Or you can do that double turnaround we did.
All right.
We need to practice more.
Well, let's practice another one. Here we have the difference, which means subtraction, of -9 and -9. So I'm going to have -9 minus -9. Lots of 9s and lots of
Negatives.
minuses and lots of negatives. And if I start out with my chips, I'm going to start out with 9 of them.
I think this is going to be pretty easy, Ms. Marino. That's 9.
Then it says take away 9 red chips.
There they go.
And I am left with
A big
0.
fat 0. Because, which kind of makes sense. No matter what, if you have something and you take that same thing away,
exactly.
there's going to be nothing left.
Right.
You know, 7 red cars minus 7 red cars is nothing.
No red cars.
Well, at least in terms of red cars, yeah. Okay. that makes sense to me.
So-
but it's so much different when you show it that way than when you read that sentence, find the difference of -9 and
It
-9.
looked really confusing
Yeah.
and it ended up being so simple.
Yeah, it's funny.
And these strategies of using the chips and the number lines work out really, really well if we have small numbers. Like
Yeah.
if we're thinking less than 20, I'm happy with this.
Yeah, right.
But if we're going a little bit bigger,
yeah.
like -56 minus -29,
But you know what I'm remembering is when we had that other one, when we had minus a negative number, we just were able to say plus a positive.
okay. And that really looks like last week now, doesn't it?
Yeah, now
We
we're
were
just adding
adding,
two different
we had a
integers.
positive and a negative, and we had to find the difference, and then think about what we have more. So if we owe $56 and we have $29, we owe more than we have, therefore our answer should be negative.
Right, but it's not going to be as big as 56 because we're getting some of it back.
Right.
So I need to figure out the difference between 56 and 29.
Oh, look, you got another one to borrow.
Oh, geez. Okay. No, I can do this. It's fine. 16 minus 9 is 7, and this is kind of tiny, sorry. 4 minus 2 is 2. So a negative 27 is what's left if you...
And it makes total sense if you think about it. You're at -56.
Right.
A positive 29 means you're going towards 0 a little bit.
But you don't
your
get all the way
answer
there.
Needs to be somewhere in between.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like, for instance...
-27.
I like it. Okay.
All right.
So one of the keys is recognizing, I mean, you could do the number line thing and change direction twice, but...
Yeah, but we talked we did a whole bunch of problems and we compared adding and subtracting and we found all these similarities. Like how adding a negative and subtracting a positive will give you the same answer.
You mean you can switch them?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we figured out this great thing where some of us, not all of us, but some of us would take addition over subtraction anytime,
Oh, yeah,
right?
definitely.
So I would always change my subtraction to addition because it just makes it easier.
Huh.
Because I can think about adding more easy. Also, we found out that adding a positive and subtracting a negative are exactly the same thing,
Which is what we did right
you're
here. Yeah, okay. Huh, I got to think about those first two, though. Let's see if the next one I can... Well, you should do the next one, but let me look at it and see if I get a chance
Okay.
to do that.
doing. Well, let's look at, here we have an example. So we're saying that subtracting a positive and adding a negative are exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rewrite this statement as 566 plus negative 493.
Which looks way easier.
It
So
does
you just
look way
switched
easier.
those two.
Well, I changed my subtraction to addition and I changed my sign. Or we used the opposite. That was a big word that we talked about. is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we're-
no, that does make
And
better sense to say it that
I
way.
will show you something in a minute that will really, like, do you remember when we used to do all those fractions?
Uh-huh.
And we did this keep, change, reciprocal?
Yeah.
Guess what do we do here? What happened to our first number? We kept it. Then
Oh, wow.
we changed, and then we used
That's funny.
the opposite.
Huh.
I never thought about it this way.
Yeah.
I always knew about this, but this, one of the students came up with that.
Yeah. And that
And
would
I
work
really
if you
liked it.
started with this, too. Cool.
So now, I remember from last week that when I had two negative numbers, I just added them together.
It's like one gigantic pile of red chips.
Yes, and then because
Two
I
negative.
started out with negatives, I know that my answer is going to end up being a negative number.
Makes sense. I really like that. That's helpful.
Keep, change, opposite.
Yeah.
It's a nice, for those of us that like to remember little things that help us,
Right,
this one works out
right,
well.
yeah.
If you don't like to think about like number lines and integer chips and all those other things.
Right, right.
Especially when you get to big numbers.
Yeah.
Thinking about number lines, they're going to become really big number lines.
You don't want to count them all out. It's true.
Here we have example 6. You want to take this one?
Yeah. How about we say, what's the difference of 329 and negative 923? And the difference is, of course, subtraction. And this, oh, it does have a positive sign on it. Sorry, it doesn't have to, though. We just understand that it's there. But I'm seeing this familiar negative, negative, which we were just saying you can change to plus a positive.
Exactly, because
Minus
we're going to
negative,
keep
right?
our first number,
Uh-huh.
change subtraction to addition, and use the opposite, which is positive 923.
And wow, this just got really easy.
So easy.
We just have to add these two positive numbers together, and the answer is positive. So that is going to give me 12, carry the 1, 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, and 9 plus 3 is another 12. 1,252. All because we could keep change opposite that.
Right?
I like it.
So in math, we're pretty lazy people, right?
Yeah.
We are the laziest people in the entire, all of them. And if we can make life easier, we'll make life easier.
Absolutely.
All right, we're good. We will see you guys next week.